this a video podcast? Yeah, that's right, guys. What is up, guys? Welcome to Chase Oliver channel. Today, I am bringing you, well, there's going to be another live stream later tonight. If you guys are big fans of pro wrestling, and you guys want to hear my thoughts on NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, which will be happening as this is uploaded on Saturday, but this is filmed on a Friday, you can watch that live stream. That'll be going on later tonight. But for all these people that don't know, yes, I am a huge NBA fan. Everyone knows this. So a lot of my viewers are actually people who came from my NBA videos. Like they found me via NBA. And if you guys don't know, when we do a lot of the wrestling live streams, a lot of people at the end of the live streams ask me a ton of NBA and NFL type of questions. And, you know, I've been trying to do more sports on this channel. It's just more of a time type of thing with me. But, you know, I like doing sports. I love talking about the NBA. And the NBA is one of my favorite things to talk about. Of course, you guys should know who my team is. I ride or die the Timberwolves. And yes, I have not gotten a new Jimmy Butler jersey. Jimmy Buckets and Karl Anthony Towns are the next jerseys on the list. It's called money. It's expensive, and I ain't paying $110 for a goddamn jersey where I put it on my phone by my dick area just to see what my team score is. It's called the NBA app. I don't need these Nike Connect jerseys. So I'm waiting until these Nike jerseys go down in a bit, but I'm definitely going to add that to my Andrew Wiggins collection, all right? You guys know me. I love you, Wiggs. You're worth the money. Don't listen to all these Timberwolves haters, man. But other than that, we're here to talk about the All-Star NBA 2018 and other NBA news going around. But of course, with me, as always, as it is with these NBA videos, he has been in a bunch of my videos. Normally you see his face, but due to XSplit, and I don't know how to do all that cool face cam shit yet, and Skype app doesn't really work on XSplit, you're not going to see his face. But with me, as always, is the generic minority. Generic, how are you, my friend?
I am good, Chase. Been a long time since I've done a video. Been an even longer time since I've done one with you, and been a long time since we talked basketball. A lot has changed, and a lot has stayed exactly the damn same. So we should talk about it because this All-Star game is completely different now. There's no more East and West. It's now team up with your buddies.
Oh, yeah, it was a pickup game. That was the big thing announced in the beginning of the season or before the season, that the All-Star game. So the voting was still going to be East and West, which made no sense to me. Like, they're dropping the whole East versus West concept. So I thought, oh, cool. So the 24 best players are going to, you know, be in the All-Star game and stuff like that. That's awesome. No, the voting is still East and West. So, like, someone that was playing on an East team and everything like that could still sneak in because they had better stats than someone in the West. Because let's be real here, when it comes down to disparity, the West has far, far, far more superior players than the Eastern Conference when it comes down to it. But yeah, so the twist was that there was no more East versus West. It was going to be a pickup style game, and the team captains of each team would be the ones who got the most votes. Now, at one point, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, was leading the votes for the Eastern Conference, but then, you know, the real king of the NBA, LeBron James, he ended up getting the most votes for the East. And Stephon Curry, surprisingly, I was surprised Curry got the most votes from the Western Conference. Now, Curry, I think, overall finished third. Like, Giannis still finished, I think, second overall, if I remember off the top of my head correctly. But I was surprised that Curry in the West got more votes. Were you surprised that Curry got the most votes in the West? Like, I thought for sure, like, Harden, because he's having the MVP type season, or even, you know, a lot of people still call Kevin Durant the snake and everything like that. But I thought Durant also, minus the time that he missed recently in December, you know, I thought Durant was going to get the most votes in the West. Were you surprised that Curry ended up getting the most votes? Because Curry did miss a good 2 weeks of games.
Yeah, so that was the thing that really blew my mind about Curry getting it, was that Curry wasn't playing for a big chunk of time, and Kevin Durant kind of sticked his claim as being the now new best player on the Golden State Warriors, whereas Steph Curry became the Draymond Green, which is like, yeah, he's the hardest hole of the team or whatever. You know, so that really did kind of surprise me. I understand it kind of because it's the LeBron Steph Curry thing, whatever. I'm assuming LeBron just called a bunch of friends, like how he does when American Idol comes on, and said, hey, go vote for Steph for me. You know, the same people that voted for him. Because, I mean, granted, if Giannis was the captain of the other team, I don't know if he would have made the same choices that LeBron would have, like the same like GM choices. But I mean, Giannis is former military, so maybe smarter than I think I'm giving him credit for. But I definitely that would have been maybe not as watched if it was Giannis versus Steph, or if it was Giannis and Kevin Durant. Even though I think that would have been a better matchup because the captains would have been matched up against each other. But yeah, I was a little bit shocked that it was Steph Curry just because of the time he missed at the time when it was really the high point of the voting too.
Yeah.
I thought Kevin Durant had that pretty much in the bag. I would have preferred it to have been James Harden just so he could finally stake some kind of claim to something.
Do you think James Harden doesn't get? And I like Harden. I think Harden's a really good player. He's definitely like the second in MVP for me right now. But why is it that you think James Harden doesn't get that much recognition, like that much respect from the fans, like that much votes? Like, dude, what is it? Because like it seems like he would be a player that like if it was like 2004, 2005, everyone would love. He has intensity. He plays to the rim. He shoots 3-pointers. He has everything that you would love in today's NBA player. Why is it do you think James Harden gets like no love and respect? Like, why is it that James Harden is always just kind of like slept on by a lot of basketball fans? And yes, he got a lot of votes. I'm not saying James Harden didn't get any votes, but when it comes down to it, he's having an MVP type of season again for like this third straight season. He's obviously, depending on how you look at it, you're number one or number two in your MVP, depending on how you grade stuff. I mean, how is it that James Harden is not like the captain for the West? That's what I'm not understanding. Like, is it because there's more bandwagon Warrior fans? Is it just that Houston fans don't really care all that much? Like, why is it that James Harden doesn't get as much love as he should?
I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of like bandwagoning, Warriors fans who just jumped on, because they like winners. Because where I live at, people just jumped on the bandwagon to hate LeBron and loving Golden State out of nowhere, and we're like super fine with KD doing the snake mentality. But my thing with James Harden, also on the flip side, Houston fans don't care. He's the Bruce Campbell of the NBA. Everyone knows like Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead movies. It's like, as far as the horror movie community is concerned, he's our Tom Cruise, right? Like, if you love horror movies, Bruce Campbell is one of your favorite actors of all time. But if you don't really care, outside of that, you're like, you don't care. You're like, yeah, he's great, or whatever. But you don't really care that the world knows you like him, But also, the problem with James Harden is so early on, he was made the butt of the jokes by Shaquille O'Neal on the Shaq and a Fool for his lack of defense. And the thing about James Harden is that that's not how he plays. But because he was kind of made, in my opinion, because he was kind of made a joke of when he came into Houston for his lack of defense. And also that time in OKC being sixth man. Like, he didn't deserve that even then. I thought he was better than just being sixth man behind Thabo Sefolosha. Yeah, Thabo Sefolosha's defense is pretty good, but if they had him starting that whole time, I think they would have did a lot better. It's another score option to stretch the floor. Stretching the floor is important, clearly. If that's what Kevin Durant ran over to Golden State to do, then how come they weren't doing that with James Harden? So because the league didn't respect him initially, that kind of translated into the fan base not respecting him. So he didn't get any votes. I definitely think despite the fact that LeBron's playing the way he's playing, I think that if LeBron was not playing right now, James Harden would be the MVP, in my opinion. Like, last year he should have won it, but we had Russell Westbrook going on his triple-double nonsense, which got him nowhere. And then now, he's got to deal with LeBron wanting to show off and say, I'm not dead yet. So that's his biggest problem. It's the sin of being born in the wrong era. I think any other time, James Harden be MVP like 3-4 years in a row,
Yeah, I think James Harden, the thing is with Harden, too, is just that he is a really good player, and then I feel like defense is definitely, I feel like a lot of fans still look at that, too. Like, they pick on his defense. They say, like, oh, well, James Harden doesn't play good defense. He's not a really good defender. So, like, that's another thing, too. Like, a lot of people still kind of pick on him about that part because, like, it's just, to me, I feel like this should have been the year where he got the most votes, that he should have gotten the most votes for,
Definitely, but see, here's the thing too: is a lot of people are like kind of neglecting this because like I'm looking at the starters list and like on the stat line, James Harden is averaging the most points and the most assists out of everyone else is in the starting five. He's averaging 31 points and almost 10 assists, which is more than everyone else that's playing. Yet he still gets no love. And they just go, "Oh, I picked James Harden because LeBron picked Kevin Durant." Kind of like nonsense, like. Not the man's worth a lot more, but like his defense leaves something to be like. But the man's weighs like 6'7", 6'8". Like he's not that big. Everyone gives like Steph Curry doesn't play any D, but he shoots threes from like half court, so everyone thinks he's cool. Kevin Durant really doesn't play D like that. He's just tall and lanky, so he plays D by proxy. I think people just sleep on Kevin or James Harden's defense because he's a straight up offensive powerhouse. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or bones about it. You're sticking him on the field. He'll shoot the ball directly in someone's face. He's not gonna shoot it from half court, but he'll shoot it while you're standing right in front of him and looking him in his face.
Yeah, that's what James Harden's gonna do, and I'm just surprised. I just feel like this should have been the year where it's like hard to finally get that next league. But I think it's also too with Houston. I just feel like Houston's not really like a lot of people want to like believe in Houston that they could beat Golden State, but I just think Houston. I think it's a Chris Paul effect. I feel Chris Paul, whatever team he goes to, they're not like a likable team. Like, it's just like Chris Paul just made like I feel Chris Paul is definitely like, you're a basketball purist, and if you're like a hardcore basketball fan, or if like you're a head coach, you love that. But if you're a viewer, you just hate Chris Paul. And I feel like Chris Paul, he's just like an unlikable dude that it just makes the Rockets a little bit more unlikable, if that makes any sense.
It does, but I wouldn't even say that he's not an unlikable dude. He has the, like you said, very form-fit coaches love to play with him, but he also is like, he's a short dude, so he's got like the big. Everyone always says like he bogards the entire locker room, tells you what to do, but he's a floor general. It's what he does. That's why he's so good at being a point guard. He doesn't make them unlikable. He makes it not for lack of a better term, he makes them kind of very like Memphis-y, kind of boring. Is that he's just gonna pass the ball. He's not really flashy passing either like that. He's just like an efficient player, and that's not really interesting to the casual fan base. If you're a stats guy, if you're someone like us, you're like, yeah, I could definitely get behind the way he plays. And also, he has like kind of it's a Steve Nash effect of being like, oh, you want to see this guy win, but you don't really care if he doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well, Steve Nash, I cared if he won. Like, I wanted to see Nash win at least one.
That's because he was in the league for so long. It's the same way I felt about Dirk when I was so glad he finally won one. It's just like, you've been in the league so long, playing so efficiently, never leaving your team, so on and so forth. Always playing as hard as you could, and you want to see him win one. I want to see Chris Paul win one. I really like him as a player, but it's just like, I don't care if he wins. I didn't really care if Steve Nash won one, but I just wanted to see him win one. I didn't care if Dirk didn't win one. I just wanted to see him win one,
Yeah, no, I feel you right there. All right, so now it's time to talk about who is on whose team. So first, we got to start with the GM, the king, LeBron James, and his team. So LeBron James was the most vote getter, so he had the #1 pick. I don't know why LeBron's like, oh, I ain't going to tell you who I picked, that's secret. Like, motherfucker, we know you put Kevin Durant. Like, let's not. We see KD's skinny body and stuff on your team. We know. Like, you're telling me Steph Curry's not gonna be like, okay, John, okay, LeBron, you did not take Anthony Davis. You took Anthony Davis first, and you expect me to believe that Curry took Giannis over Kevin Durant? No, get the fuck on out of here. We all know LeBron got Kevin Durant. So LeBron got Kevin Durant. He got the Brow and Demarcus Cousins, the Pelican Bros, and Kyrie Irving. Ooh, some drama there with Kyrie Irving. I'm thinking that Curry chose DeRozan, and so LeBron got stuck with Kyrie and stuff like that. So, and then interesting enough, LeBron. So if everyone doesn't know, LeBron got this first pick from between the guys that got the starter votes. So whoever was voted as the starters, but for the reserves, Curry got the first pick. So it was kind of interesting to see that LeBron ended up with Russell Westbrook. So LeBron got Westbrook, Victor Oladipo. Whoever thought this motherfucker? Oladipo.
I did. I believed in Victor Oladipo when he was in OKC.
Everyone should know by now, I've been a huge Oladipo fan. I just thought, like, if you were trading Paul George for Oladipo, if you would have told me, and we'll get into snubs in a moment too on this show. Don't you worry about that. But if you would have told me that, like, yeah, Oladipo would be in the All-Star game and not Paul George, I would be like, what? No. So you got Victor Oladipo, the Unicorn Kristaps Porzingis, LMA LaMarcus Aldridge, John Wall, and Bradley Beal. That is LeBron James's team. Now, Generic, what would you grade LeBron as a GM with the selection that he did? What would you say how LeBron did in this draft? Because I give LeBron a good B+, because you managed to get Westbrook. I don't know what Curry was thinking where he didn't take Westbrook, because like that's like a misplay right there. But other than that, I like his starting five because it's like very big and lanky. But other than that, man, his bench, I'm sorry, man, that bench is just, there's too much inconsistencies. And I know it's an all-star game, so they're not really going to try all that much. But I'm just saying, man, when Davis and Cousins are chilling there, man, you have to ask Kevin Love, Porzingis, and LaMarcus to play defense. Oh, dude, that's bad.
I think he did the GM thing, which is give himself a really powerful starting five and an okay bench to put around him. Like to be like, okay, if I pull Kyrie out, I put Westbrook in, right? And like if he's not gonna pull them all out at the same time or however the coaching is being done, he's not gonna pull, the entire like it's not like a 2K game where you can pull everyone out and then switch all the whole bench in. So it's obviously gonna be like kind of switch up. I actually give him like an A- on it only because he picked a good, like, it'll be a good rotation of people because you have Kevin Durant who is telling, like, it was like, all right, you got Kyrie Irving, whatever drama, right? But Kyrie's still going to play point because that's what Kyrie does and he's going to ball, right? LeBron's probably going to play shooting guard or power forward. Like, he can swap himself around. Kevin Durant can be swapped around. He's got Kristaps Porzingis who, like, how do you can't swap him around, but, like, anyone on Curry's team really going to be able to, like, guard him like that except for Giannis? Like,
well, Curry's team does have some big defenders, I would say.
It's got some big defenders, but like he has a very kind of pace and space, spread the floor. He actually is playing like he picked a team like Golden State basically, which is like he's got everyone on his starting five can hit the three and spread the floor, but then he's still got guys that are big. So, and he's got Kevin Love to space the floor. LaMarcus Aldridge can space the floor. Kristaps Porzingis can obviously space the floor. And he's got the speed from John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Russell Westbrook. Bradley Beal can score out of control. Like he's got good options for when. I can already see it like very early on. Like even though Demarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis are out there, one of those two is going to the bench like within the first 5 minutes, or Kyrie's going to the bench in the first 5 minutes, and Westbrook's coming because Westbrook's going to be a hothead on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
And he's gonna put Westbrook in when he takes Durant out because he doesn't want those two playing together because Westbrook is petty, much like myself, and I understand it. So he's not going to play with Kevin Durant. He's not going to pass that ball to him.
That's the reason why I gave it a B plus because I don't understand. Like, well, I get it. You're trying to build a team to win, but I just feel this is like such like a drama-filled team. Like I see it's like LeBron and Kyrie, and like it's just gonna be focused on what will they do with each other when they're practicing, and then like you have Durant and granted, yes, Westbrook and Durant were on the same team last year, but they were forced to be. That was like because of the Western Conference voting. It wasn't like this is like to separate them and stuff like that. Now like you have to deal with that, and then like Kevin Love, he's still not clean with the whole situation. There's like Cavs that are that are still blaming Kevin Love for a lot of the things going on with that situation. So yeah, man, like when it comes down to it, man, and also to the Wizards, like I'm sorry, like I would have chosen one of them. I wouldn't have gotten both of them. Like I would have chosen Bradley Beal, and I would have let Curry just get John Wall. That's just my personal opinion, but. No,
I would have picked John Wall. I would have just left Westbrook where he was and let him because Westbrook is the drama of that bench in my opinion because he's going to be aggy about not being a starter and he's going to be aggro about having to play with Durant and he's going to be aggro about wanting to ball out and be the only his only friend on the court is the ball type thing. So that's the only person I would have kept Bradley Beal and John Wall because first off they play together and two John Wall is more of a passer than anything else. So you're going to get him to distribute the ball. Westbrook he needs the ball in his hands. He's not passing that ball around. What I'm saying? Yeah. So I would have picked John Wall and not have picked Westbrook. I would have never picked Westbrook. I'd have picked Draymond Green over Westbrook.
Draymond Green. Yeah, that would have been funny. LeBron would have done that with his second pick. So speaking of which, Team Curry, Stephon Curry picked Giannis Antetokounmpo, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, and Joel Embiid. So when you look at the starting fives, like it's easy to say, LeBron won that one. But then you look at the bench, Damian Lillard, like, who feels like he should be like a 4-time All-Star. I think this is his second All-Star appearance, which is very shocking to say.
Third is his third.
Oh, it's his third? Okay, so it's his third All-Star appearance. He should be like a 5. This should be his 5th then, if anything like that, because 2 years in a row he got snubbed pretty hard. Jimmy Buckets, my boy, the LeBron stopper, the sleeper MVP. No one's talking about my boy Jimmy Buckets. Full Wolves bias activated for sure. Jimmy Butler right there. Draymond Green, Kyle Lowry, Klay Thompson, my boy, the cat, Big Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, and Al Horford. Our boy made it. Al Horford is in the All-Star game, generic. We're just missing Paul Millsap, and this would be a beautiful thing.
I'm very sad that he's not in it, but we'll get to that later with the snubs. But yeah, no, I'm so happy for Al Horford.
Yeah, Al Horford made it, man. He's been balling it out for the Celtics very well with Kyrie, man. Gordon
Yeah.
Hayward went up, and I said, like, for the Celtics to be successful, it's not up to Gordon Hayward and Kyrie because I know they're going to ball. They need Al Horford to ball, man. Like I
Yes.
don't know what's up with Al Horford, man. Last season was kind of like he was still solid, but it wasn't like what you expected out of Al Horford, So good for Al Horford.
Yeah.
But yeah, Curry's team, at a glance, a lot of people like shit on his team and stuff like that. But I like Curry's team actually a lot, man. Like everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, it's because the two Timberwolves are on the team." Maybe that's the reason. My boy Jimmy Buckets, sleeper MVP, by the way. Did I mention that 5 times already? But I like Curry's team. I think Curry's team has like a good balance. It has all the characters and stuff. I mean, you have Giannis is sneaky funny. Like I think a lot of people don't look at Giannis as like a funny guy, but Giannis is pretty funny. You got Joel Embiid, who is an absolute riot.
That's the process.
James Harden has probably the best book locker commercials out of all the NBA players. Lowry and DeRozan. Now these guys, like, if you have never seen Lowry and DeRozan do stuff together or their videos together, oh my god, dude, they're the most funniest teammates ever. Like they're like true best friends. Like these guys are like bro goals of what you want for your like best friend and everything like that. Like, dude, they're just absolutely hilarious together, man. Like that's funny. Jimmy Butler's a funny cat. He likes to do funny things and stuff like that. So, and Draymond Green's a hilarious guy himself. So I like Curry's team on an entertainment back. Like, there's a lot of good, funny personalities, man. And I give Curry the same grade I gave LeBron, a B plus, because like I feel like I don't know what Curry was thinking. Like Westbrook would have made this team a lot better, especially when Curry sits down. Because that's the thing. Like, yes, there's a point guard that can take over. Like, I think Lowry's a really good point guard and has been being slept on a lot this year by a lot of the mainstream people. But still, man, it's like I would rather prefer like seeing a Westbrook run down the court with like a Giannis and a freaking cat and a Joel Embiid or something like that. Like to me personally, I just felt like because Curry had the first reserve pick. I think he chose Clay or he chose Jimmy. He had to choose one of those two because he felt like, oh, like I'm just choosing them because like I don't want LeBron to get hold of them or something like that. So yeah, I just think that Curry made the mistake without Westbrook. But overall, I do like his team. But if you look at his team from a defensive standpoint, yeah, man, this ain't team defense right here, man. Like minus Draymond and Al Horford and Joel Embiid to some extent. Giannis really only gets by because he's lengthy. Karl-Anthony Towns is still... Oh, and Jimmy Butler. Karl-Anthony Towns is struggling when it comes to defense. So, yeah, like defenses against the big is a bag. Like Thompson, Butler, Horford, and Draymond. That's it. But other than that, like, the defense is just kind of like, Like, good luck seeing Damian Lillard try to play defense, man.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be a beautiful thing when Damian Lillard tries to play some defense. I don't know. I'd give. I'm actually gonna follow the same grade as you, only because like I like these guys as players. Like he basically picked all like the outcast dudes, like dudes that when they were actually like going down for all stars, like who might run the risk of getting snubbed, and. Once again, that whole Westbrook, he should have just picked Westbrook. Like, why even that? First off, you're gonna get a dude when you pick Westbrook. You're gonna get a dude if you know Kevin Durant's gonna pick first. You get a dude that's gonna try to like jam on him and gonna ball out already. And then you get Harden and Westbrook back together, and that'd be something interesting to see. Again. But picking Giannis was like the only Giannis and Harden were the only two, like, from his starting five, in my opinion, that were the good picks. I wouldn't have picked DeMar DeRozan for my starting. Especially when I had Jimmy Butler. Nothing personal against DeMar DeRozan.
Well, he had to choose between who was the starters first, so he couldn't choose Jimmy Butler as a starter.
I didn't know if he had to pick those first.
No, because so what happened was they did the starters draft first, so like everyone who got voted in as a starter, they chose between those 5 players first. They chose between those 5 players first, and those 10 players, I should say, minus LeBron and Curry. So they chose between those 8 players first, and then afterwards they went to reserves. But to make it fair, so LeBron wouldn't have the first pick of the reserves, they gave the first pick to Curry for the reserves. So that way Curry at least had like that was a consolation. Where it's like, well, you didn't get the starting, you didn't get the first pick with the starters, but you do get the reserves and stuff like that.
Okay, so then he just picks based on like to try to he didn't even pick to try to counter. I suppose.
I feel like it went down like this. It was like LeBron was like, I take KD. Steph took Giannis. Then LeBron took Davis. Then Steph was like, I'll take Harden. Then LeBron was like, "Ooh, I'll take Cousins." And then Steph's like, "Dang, I got to get a big. I'll take Joel." And then later on, like LeBron was like, "Oh, it's Kyrie or DeMar," and he was like
Yeah.
thinking about it. And then he was like, "You know what? I'll just take Kyrie." And then Steph was like, "All right, I'll get DeMar then." And
That's crazy too, because they're actually like DeMar and Kyrie are actually averaging pretty much the same exact stat line right now. So that's funny that he's just like he picked Kyrie. It definitely was like a LeBron. Like, I guess I'll pick Kyrie because I know he can. I know he can ball with my play style.
yeah.
But nah, if I'm Steph Curry, I picked like I'd have honestly, if he picked KD, I would have. I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm petty like that. I would have split Anthony Davis and Demarcus Cousins up just cause like you really Joel Embiid's a good player, but I want I don't want dudes who are on teams together to be playing together if I'm not going to be playing with the dudes I play with for the most part. Like I'd have been just trying to split dudes. I probably would have picked Kyrie if I was Steph after like I know he like putting like Giannis after Giannis. Like if I know the last two picks is DeMar and Kyrie, I'd have picked Kyrie just once again getting dudes who got beef with LeBron who want to ball out like. That's just me, and there's more options when you're out on the floor, because Kyrie's gonna, he needs the ball in his hand to create, but like he's gonna attack the basket, which is a threat, which leaves you open especially as Steph Curry leaves you open out in the perimeter.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So when it comes down to it, those are the teams. Which team are you going to be rooting for, generic minority? Because I know you're a Knicks fan, so like you normally go for East, but like who are you going to cheer? Who are you going to cheer for this year?
I'm not rooting for anybody. I'm rooting for I'm split because I'm rooting for my man from the Knicks, Kristaps, finally getting some love, and I'm also rooting for Victor Oladipo. But I gotta root for Al Horford to like show that he still got it. Like I don't know. I'm a little bit conflicted. I think I don't like I really just don't like Durant, and I don't like the hype around. I'm like I honestly prefer of the two starting Warriors, I prefer Steph Curry over Durant on a personal level, and like, even his play style, I just still prefer. I don't know. I don't even actually prefer it, but like I'm actually rooting for Team Curry. Like I really can't. I can't flex with LeBron choosing Kevin Durant. Only reason I can flex with LeBron choosing Kevin Durant, not for other than for because he said he wants to win. If LeBron is using this to sneak of like recruiting guys to be like that's all I think this really is for LeBron. He's like, I want to win, but it's really just him to be like, yeah, man, you should come and play for Philly when I move to Philly. You should come play for New York when I go to New York. You should come and play for Cleveland. Like if he could lock some dudes to come in and play for Cleveland, or if he could lock some dudes into coming to play whatever team he goes to, and start being like, yo, yeah, how you feel about New York? How you feel about Los Angeles? How you feel about Philly? Like I really think that's what that is because like a lot of the dudes he picked are on contract years, or not really contract years, but they have like player options. Like DeMarcus Cousins could just be up for grabs coming up.
Oh yeah,
soon.
yeah. I totally agree with you. Like some of these picks, like I definitely think it's like definitely like we definitely got to try to recruit like DeMarcus. That's enough. Like I feel like if Paul George was in this draft, and we'll get to Paul George in a minute too about talking about snubs and stuff. I feel like he would have chosen Paul George and DeMarcus. Be like, hey, are we all three of us? We going to LA next year or what? We all going or you all staying? I want to know because I want to know what my plans are and stuff like that. Like I'm pretty sure, man, that's because like DeMarcus is definitely one where it's just like you definitely want to see where he's going because like LeBron James, he loves DeMarcus Cousins. That's one of his favorite dudes. So when it comes down to it, he wants to kind of know where DeMarcus Cousins says that. Wants to know like, hey man, are we playing together or what, man? What's going on? Hey.
Word. That's really what I feel like it was. He was like trying to see who he can recruit. Like he picked guys who he's certain or almost certain he can get to kind of either think about playing with him. He wants to scout Kristaps to see whether he wants to scout dudes to see where he wants to go to. So he's scouting Kristaps and how he plays alongside Kristaps. Like don't be surprised if you don't see Kristaps on there with LeBron at some point. Like for an extended stretch of time just to see how he plays. He wanted to get LaMarcus Aldridge to put the word in him for San Antonio in case he decides to defect to the West. Like he definitely picked guys saying like he wants to see kids like, yo, this was like Kevin Love. He was like, yo, Kevin, I'm gonna do you a solid right here. But you better talk to these dudes because you might not be on this team no more, all right, Kev? You need to have a conversation with your man's Bradley Beal real quick as you going to Washington. Like he definitely picked dudes based on conversations he's having with them before and after the game. Not really like he wants to win, but he's like, these are the guys I need to talk to. Let me see if I can get Kevin Durant to be a sneak twice.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm choosing Team Curry as well, mainly because this is kind of like, a Timberwolves what if team if you look at it, like Curry, I always hear people go like, oh, how did the Timberwolves not draft Stephen Curry? They draft Ricky Rubio and shit. DeMar DeRozan also in the same draft as Curry. I always forget, DeRozan and Curry were in the same draft, right? Yeah. Somewhat.
I believe so. Worst case scenario, he's like a year
Yeah, a year
before or
apart. Because
after,
like
but I think they're the
I
same.
remember because like I remember people were like, "How come they didn't choose DeMar and Stefan or something like that?" It's like so like that's a Timberwolves what if right there. James Harden, the
Yeah.
Timberwolves could have definitely drafted at one point. But also too, Kyle Lowry. There was rumors that he would be a Wolf and stuff like that until they got Jeff Teague. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like a Timberwolves little what if team. Plus my two Wolves.
Yeah.
They're on Team Stephen, so you know what? I'm gonna go with Team Curry. Like I gotta go with my boys. I gotta go with my Timberwolves boys. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's time to talk though. Even though the All Star game is great, and it's a congratulations to all these guys who made the All Star team. We gotta talk about those who didn't make it because that's always the big thing. Everyone's like, how come these people did not make the All Star team? Everyone always has complaints and everything like that. Who are some big snubs for you? Who are some big snubs for you, or who are just someone that was snubbed in general that you want to talk about? There's a couple of good names out there.
The names out there who got snubbed, I really like. Everyone who got snubbed, it kind of makes sense the way they're playing. Like Paul George is definitely going to be the one that everyone's like, how did he get snubbed? So far. I heard some people had the audacity to say, how did Lonzo Ball get snubbed? How did Lonzo get? Oh, dude, I got people out here that were like, oh, Lonzo's been playing. He's not shooting the best, but he's been got every other stat line. He's rocked every. They're using the Colin Cowherd logic of things about how good Lonzo's playing.
Yeah, he's an SUV. He's not a motorcycle.
Yeah, like but the biggest one is definitely gonna be Paul George. Another snub who I think is playing well, despite not De'Aaron. I think not necessarily a snub, but I think who could be up for consideration the next time around. De'Aaron Fox playing pretty well. But Ben Simmons, man, like, is he injured?
Simmons is a good one. Yeah, Simmons is good.
Ben Simmons, definitely. I was like, yo, this man is like in front running for Rookie of the Year, and you're just gonna snub my man's like that? Like, I mean, not even like fan base, even the voting. It's like not starters, but like I don't know how the voting worked for starters. I didn't vote, but like definitely Ben Simmons, Paul George. I really can't offhand. I'm trying to run down the list in my brain.
For me,
I don't.
these are some names that got snubbed. For me at least, I thought Goran Dragic. The Heat are like fourth in the conference, and he's been like just so good for them. It's like you telling me that you couldn't take Goran. Like I'm sorry, like John Wall. Both Wizards did not need to make the All Star game. At least in my personal opinion. I know Wizard fans are gonna be mad at me about that, but Goran Dragic they're fourth in the West, fourth in the East, fifth in the East. Well, either at this time of recording, they're one of the top teams in the East, and Goran Dragic is leading the way, and he just got slept on. It's like Goran Dragic, they just didn't really care whatsoever about him. Giannis's teammate, everyone talks about the Greek Freak, but man, Middleton, Chris Middleton's recently been lining up, but before then, man, Middleton's playing angry. I think Middleton's pissed he didn't make the All-Star game, man, because he's been playing great ever since Jason Kidd's dumbass got fired and everything like that, man, because, yeah, man, Middleton, he's playing good. Another one, but, his team's playing bad, so it's like, these are the guys that got snubbed, but their teams are bad, so it's kind of like they're good stat guys, but they're on bad teams. These two guys are Kemba Walker and Devin Booker. Those are two other guys that I felt got like Devin Booker.
Yeah, Devin Booker. That was the one I couldn't think of. Devin Booker definitely got a little bit of snub right here. That I would have, if you were like take John Wall out, put Devin Booker in, I'd have been down for that.
Yeah. No, I was talking about for the Eastern side. There's some we can talk about who you would take in and out in a minute. But yeah, man, because like Paul George is definitely snubbed. I felt that Andre Drummond's another guy that got snubbed. But then again, the Pistons kind of fell off a bit. And then it's also hard. I feel like it's so hard for front court guys to make it in than guards in certain situations. So yeah, Andre Drummond, got snubbed and that thing. You can even make a case for a CJ McCollum, Lillard's teammate, of maybe being a snubbed type of player. But and then also everyone's favorite Lou Will. Everyone was on the Lou Williams make it to the All-Star game bandwagon, which would have been I think would have been nice, man. Like. He's been sensational for the Clippers. He's easily the sixth man of the year and everything like that. He would have been a nice little thing in the All-Star game. Like I wouldn't have mind seeing Lou Will in the All-Star game. But yeah, notable omissions that people are not talking about, but these are guys that normally make the All-Star game. There's reasons why they're not in the All-Star game. Kawhi Leonard injured.
Yep, injured.
Seems like him and the Spurs aren't friends. We'll talk about that later. Blake Griffin, um, he just started off the season injured and then just recently came back. CP3, a lot of people say he got snubbed, but I don't know. Like I would take four other guys over Chris Paul.
Yeah,
just in the guards alone. If you add forwards into it, there's 8 other guys that I would take over Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Our favorite player of all time, generic minority, the legend of if you guys know our NBA history, we know who we love. Dwight Howard did not make it. Our boy Dwight did not make it, dude.
Nah, Dwight's he's playing well, especially for age and injuries that he's had, but he's not playing. I didn't like it, but I don't dislike it, but it's like I understand why, but still he got a little no love. Paul Millsap is injured still technically, so of course he didn't make it. It would have been nice to see him and Al Horford back on the floor again.
Nikola Jokic.
Jokic, yeah, that's a weird one. I actually, you know what though, when you really think about it, because I even forgot about Jokic. Like that's one of those things where they don't make a lot of noise. It's the Memphis Grizzly effect again. They don't make a lot of noise.
Yeah, because
They're not
Evans,
interesting.
A lot of people say if you look at Evans' stat line, he's also someone that you could have made an argument to be an All-Star, which is crazy. I think Tyreek Evans,
Yeah. That's definitely the effect of like they don't make a lot of noise wherever the team they play for, the conference and yada yada yada, that they don't make enough. Like it's really comes down to like that. Who's the most like all the names on the list? Most people, when I look down at, most people would know them offhand. Maybe you look down at like maybe not everyone knows who Victor Oladipo is offhand, or like kind of casual fans like Al Horford. Maybe people might not have a lot of like respect for it, but you like there are a lot of staple dudes for their teams, or like on the top tier of their teams. So when you look down, you're not gonna pick Tyreek Evans, especially when it's the assistant coaches making up the the other picks. It's like you're not gonna pick those are quality guys, but you also have to remember that it's still a marketing thing. So you're gonna pick Bradley Beal because he's out here dropping 50 points every 3 or 4 games. Like you're gonna pick Bradley Beal.
100%.
So it does suck when dudes get snubbed like that because you want to see certain guys and then guys get injured. I think they only picked LaMarcus because Kawhi was hurt. So.
Oh yeah, I thought Manu too. Manu was another guy that kind of got you could make an argument for could have also made the game. Fans voted him in the top starting. Remember, he was a starter if you went by the fan vote.
Oof, nah. I mean the fans, the more hardcore, more hardcore fans wanted to show some love to some of the older guys who put in a lot of work and they wanted to see them get something for the season if they're not going to win a championship. So I definitely understand why fans voted him in. I mean, I would have voted him in. Marc Gasol hasn't been playing great, but I still would have. I would have liked to see just those two together. I don't think he's a snub, but I just would have liked it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's a snub. A lot of people were saying you could put Manu in instead of LaMarcus.
Yeah, he's been playing his heart out. And what is that man, like 35 years old, 36?
Yeah, I think he's almost hitting 40. I think he turned 40 this year.
I don't think he turns 40. The oldest man in the league right now, my boy Vince Carter.
Oh yeah, 39 and 40, right? Carter.
He's 40. He's 40.
I think Manu's 38. He's 37 or 38. I think he's more on that age.
Yeah, I think Manu is Manu Ginobili. I don't know, but even still, it's like yeah, that's like offhand, like the people who are in it, it makes sense. There are a couple guys who you would want to see in it. If Manu Ginobili is 40, he is exactly 40. But yeah, no, that's definitely, it still makes sense. Got to show the Knicks some love. Get Kristaps in there. Yeah, everyone makes sense. Victor Oladipo finally gets some love after having to put up with nonsense. But yeah, there's certain guys you miss. You want to see them in it. You want to see them because who knows what they're going to do for the process next year. If they're going to go back to East and West, or if this does well and they go do this. Hell, they might have like celebrities at some point drafting dudes.
What do you think they should do? Should they do just the top 24 players, like the top 24 All-Stars? Like, if you're going to do, because like to me personally, let's be real here. Like, I'm sorry, Kevin Love, you're not making the top 24. This like all-star wise, like I'm sorry, like certain people are not making it on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like even I'll say like I don't think like if you're going off best 24, like I don't think Karl Anthony Towns is making this list and stuff like that. Like I feel like if you're going off that, like instead of like going by conference, if it's like no conference, like I feel like Love is out, Towns is out, even maybe Oladipo may be out. but
Oladipo, Towns is out. And I actually think Towns might still make it, but Victor Oladipo is out. John Wall would probably be out,
oh yeah,
honestly.
John
And,
Wall's out, yeah, dude.
you know, and John Wall's out, Bradley Beal's in.
Beal was
Yeah, no.
definitely an all-star this year. Like who were your definite all-stars this year? Because for me, my definite all-stars were. Let's see. I'll name off the names and I'll see if you agree with me. LeBron.
Yep.
Curry.
Yep.
James Harden.
Yep.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, I give him that. Just in the list of guys here.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan. Let's see, who else would I choose? Who else did I have definite? Oh yeah, Davis. Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis, yeah.
Demarcus Cousins.
Cousins, definitely.
Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Bradley Beal.
Yep.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, I give Jimmy Butler some love for this one. Yeah, he's been playing well out there.
Yeah, and then after that, all the other All-Stars, it's kind of like, it's more of like an argument. Oh, and Joel Embiid. That was my other one, Joel Embiid.
I'd have put Kristaps in the reserve of the All-Stars. He's been balling out in New York. He's been playing well for them. It's just like, they don't have he doesn't have a good team around him.
No, there was like a stretch though where Kristaps was like really bad though. Like he wasn't making any shots. Like he was just shooting up just nothing.
But that's one of those things that, in my opinion, once again, I'm from New York City, so I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I'm not going to say they're great or anything like that. Kristaps is a god. He's just like a glitch in the Matrix. He's 7'3" playing the way he plays. It's that he's got to now be he's a very kind of quiet, tepid guy. It's very clear looking at him that he's normally just like a quiet dude who keeps to himself. Like even playing 2K, you see him doing interviews with Rachel. He clearly is like awkward despite being 7 feet tall and her talking to him. So it's just like he has to take over the team now, and they're like, yo, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to be telling these guys out here, we don't got a point guard who's orchestrating the floor. It's you stretch the floor, you do this, you do that, you're our star. So he kind of like the pressure got to him for a little bit. I think that's what that was. And that is what would push him down the ladder in the reserve. He's not like a start. I would never put him in a starter at the current level of he's playing, but I would still put him in the list. He's a definite on the team, especially if it was still East and West, he's still definitely on the team in the East. Yeah. But even when you when you do it like this, yeah, I'd still put him in the batch for people that are being picked from out of the reserve.
Okay, for sure. I get what you're saying. Like he just wasn't like an official lock. Like I'd put him on the All-Star team, but if like I had a choice, I'd probably maybe put Drummond in over him. That's just my personal opinion.
I do prefer a more post playing kind of like traditional center center or power forward over a guy like Kristaps, but definitely, I think he just deserved it. The Knicks needed to get some kind of love. Who else is balling out in the Knicks, really? I mean, Michael Beasley's doing pretty good, but that's just this past few little stretch here. So who knows if he doesn't go back to being Beasley,
Be easy, man, my boy, former Timberwolf great Michael Beasley.
Oh man, I like him. He got a little confidence out in China. So like Emmanuel Mudiay did. So now he's stepping back in the league, strutting and whatnot, and he's on the Knicks. So it's not hard to ball out on the Knicks. I think even you and I can keep ball out on the Knicks at this point.
Let's not go too far there. I think I'll stick to my. I don't think I could beat. This ain't 2K where I could beat Frank Nicolatina.
He's playing. He's actually playing pretty decent too. You off the bench, coming off the bench at point shooting.
Dennis Smith Jr. I've been on the Dennis Smith Jr. train forever.
That's good too. Nah, come on, man. Me and you, like you starting point, me starting shooting guard. I'm 6 foot flat. Like I've lost a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm 5'8", man. Like we're gonna have to just throw the Kristaps and hopefully he makes it all, dude.
Yeah, that's the whole point. You shoot him up and tell Giannis, you tell Kristaps, yo, catch this, all right?
Yeah, catch this shit, dude. I ain't gonna do shit. Hey, at least then when we face the Cavs, man, me and IT, we won't play any defense against each other. It'd be like the greatest thing ever, dude. No defense whatsoever.
You guys just driving to the basket, laying it up.
No, not even, dude. We'll just back off each other, and then like someone will set a screen, and we'll go like 50 yards back because every time someone sets a screen on IT like goes 50 yards back because he can't believe someone's setting a screen on it. Like, dude, that guy needs to build some strength, man. Like Isaiah Thomas has no strength whatsoever, man. He's just
short. He could get a good center of gravity, man. He could be like the best post playing point guard ever if he's short. He got a good center of gravity. Just push off a dude. You're gonna draw the foul if you playing in the post as short as you are. They love giving the short dudes the foul. Like
but he's just terrible at that. So
yeah, he is.
So that's it for the All-Star talk. Now it's time to talk about other NBA stuff that's going on. The Cavs are playing the game of Survivor. If you guys have ever watched Survivor on CBS, there's factions. There's a team war going on between the old guard and the new guard and stuff like that. And then LeBron is like Jeff Probst, like he's deciding who gets voted off the fucking island and stuff like that. I think George Hill's trying to come from Sacramento tribe to join the Cleveland tribe because he's tired of the Kings always losing these immunity challenges or something. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so when it comes down to it, the Cavs are having some issues. Kevin Love left in Saturday primetime game. For you guys don't know, since now the NFL is kind of winding down and there's no other really major sports for ESPN that they're tied to in contracts. NBA gets Saturday primetime games where they like pretty much do Saturday. It's like Saturday's dedicated to the NBA. Like you get to see NBA action at like 12 noon, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Wake up to some NBA. It's like Christmas Day and everything like that. It's like some bullshit. So Kevin Love left the game between OKC when they were getting spanked. That was like the game where it was just like when you get a big three and you have them on 2K, that's what you expect your big three in 2K to do and stuff like that. Like Paul George was almost having a 40-piece up there. Freaking Russell Westbrook had like 19 assists and 28 points, and Melo was in hoodie Melo mode with 24 points, and I think he had like 8 rebounds or something like that. And that was just in the third quarter. That wasn't even like, and yeah, they got spanked. Love left the bench saying he was sick. Then he missed practice. And this led to an emotional team meeting, emotional tribal council, where Isaiah Thomas called out Kevin Love, saying that he was sick. And this led to a huge emotional Cavs team meeting. And now Dan Gilbert's talking about selling the team. And, you know, and then there's more reports that came out too, that Kyrie was, if he did not get traded, was threatening to have knee surgery where he would miss the majority of the season, if not all the season. Because if you guys don't remember, Kyrie suffered a gruesome knee injury in the 2015 NBA Finals against the Warriors, Game 1 in overtime. And so he has to go for regular checkups to clean the knee. You know, it's nothing too serious. But for Kyrie, this was enough for him to say, nope, I will sit out the whole season.
Yup.
And then there's reports again. LeBron James is upset that they did not trade for Eric Bledsoe or Paul George. Now, if you guys don't know, remember, LeBron was very adamant that he wanted a superstar to be added. There was rumors that Paul George was going to go and be traded to the Cavaliers for Kevin Love, but then like, you know, Indiana's like, we don't want Kevin Love, like he sucks and everything like that. Well, he doesn't suck, but it's like, no, we ain't gonna do that trail. Like that's just ridiculous and stuff like that. Like we don't see any vision where our team is being built around Kevin Love. I mean, at that time, you gotta remember Indiana. The best player for them at that time was Miles Turner. So it's like Kevin Love and Miles Turner. They're kind of both similar bigs. Like Miles Turner, like he can do more postings than Kevin Love. But that's just like bad spacing. Like you need like Kevin Love needs a big, like when he was in, and trust me, I know Kevin Love better than anyone else. So don't fucking tell me that you just know what Kevin Love needs. So shut the fuck up. I've watched more Kevin Love games than any of you Cavs fans have watched in your whole life. Okay, so when it comes down to it, Kevin Love needs a big like Nikola Pekovic, where it's just like you stand underneath the fucking rim and you catch my 3 balls that I shoot, and then you set picks for me so that way I can go down to the post and stuff. Like Kevin Love needs a big like that, you know. That's what he needs. He doesn't need a big like Miles Turner, who's nothing like that. So they didn't want to do that trade. Then apparently, I never heard of this trade, and this trade is crazy. There's going to be a 3-team trade between the Pacers, the Suns, and the Cavaliers, where the Suns would get Kyrie Irving and Shannon Fry. The Pacers would get the Suns' number 4 overall pick, which became Josh Jackson, and the Cavs would get Eric Bledsoe and Paul George. What the kind of trade was that? I've never heard of that trade. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. That's one of those like made up 2K ones. I don't know if that one is 100%. Well, probably some parts of that was.
I know the Suns wanted Kyrie. Like, I know the Suns definitely wanted Kyrie. But I feel like the Cavs were like pushing. But I definitely could see this trade being plausible. But the Suns backed out of this trade because they didn't want to give up the number 4 overall pick, which ended up becoming like, you know, Josh Jackson, like we said, and you know, hindsight being 2020. Josh Jackson's not really doing shit for you right now, you know.
Yeah.
So when it comes. It's funny. It's funny that this draft, it's like the top 5 picks when you look at it for this rookies draft, minus Tatum. You know, a lot of these boys ain't doing shit.
Man.
Marco Fultz is trying to figure out how to shoot the basketball, which is weird because like he's the reason why they drafted him was because he's a prolific scorer. Lonzo staying with Fultz,
he's trying to figure out how to shoot and how to figure out how to shoot his dad without anyone figuring out he did it.
Yeah, Jason Tatum's just playing like a baller. Josh Jackson ain't really doing anything. And who was the 5th pick?
For argument's sake, I'm going to say Dragan Bender.
Dragan Bender.
I'm just going to say something because I have no idea who it was.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Because like the 6th and then 7th was it Isaac? Jonathan Isaac was the 5th pick?
I don't know. I didn't even want to follow this draft class because everyone was talking about Lonzo. When did De'Aaron Fox go? 7, 8?
Oh, yeah, it's probably De'Aaron. Yeah, it was probably De'Aaron.
I think it was De'Aaron. Not that De'Aaron's not playing well. But I mean, right now he's on a technical level playing with less drama than Lonzo. So I mean, and so he's not being highlighted as much as if he's not playing that way. He's playing like a rookie. By and large, Tatum is the best one so far. And the only reason why he's being overshadowed in terms of rookie of the year is because of the Lonzo drama and the fact that Ben Simmons technically is still a rookie.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Don't forget about Donovan Mitchell too. Mitchell's been playing.
Oh, actually, yeah, Donovan Mitchell's playing pretty good.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, and then also
Dennis Smith Jr.
Lauri Markkanen has been playing really well for the.
Yeah, Markkanen's actually he's been kind of blowing my mind over it.
I was telling people, man, because everyone's like, I remember it was funny. The Timberwolves actually drafted Markkanen, but we traded him for Butler, which I would not trade back. But before we got the Butler deal done, I remember some people were asking me, "Hey Chase, who do you want the Timberwolves to draft?" I said, you know what, man? I said, like, as much as we need a point guard, like, I was, like, on the Dennis Smith Jr. thing, I said, Lauri Markkanen would be so great with Towns. Like, try to stop these 2 7-foot monsters that can, like, hit 3-point shots and, like, can just sit pick and pops and do pick and rolls. Like, can you imagine, like, Towns and Markkanen, these 2 monsters together on the court? Like, oh, that'd be so great. So I said, I want Lauri Markkanen. And then, like, my friend texted me, oh, yeah, Jimmy Butler is going to the Wolves. I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw the Wolves draft Markkanen. I was hoping that, like, it was like, maybe Markkanen will fall to the 16th pick. Because, like, I remember the Bulls also gave us a 16th pick for whatever fucking reason. And they were like, hey, you can take that pick, too. Like, I love Tom Thibodeau. What a great GM he is. And before anyone says anything, yes, he's a GM. Fuck you. But when it comes down to it, though, back to the Cavs drama. Yeah, the Cavaliers just not having it. What is your take on this whole the GM, the situation, just the whole situation with the Cleveland Cavaliers and where they're at right now as a team and as a unit? Like, is this something to be concerned about, generic, or is this something where it's like, come the playoffs, the Cavs will do what they usually do, sweep all these teams, maybe struggle one game in the East, and then we'll see what will happen when they face Golden State in the West?
I don't know. Like in the recent years, there's always it's January, so there's always trouble with LeBron. No matter where he is, come January, it doesn't matter where LeBron is. January time rolls around.
The only good January year for LeBron was when the Heat was on that winning streak, the Heat-o year, when LeBron was like, that was the only good year of January for LeBron.
And that's it. He's always got drama rolling around him come January. So on a history wise, when it comes to LeBron in January, I'm not concerned. I'm concerned if this keeps going down in February, that they're still having this like fire sale drama of who they're trying to get rid of. They should have tried to get rid. Listen, I like with an ED, Kevin Love, in the past. I thought he was a fantastic player on the Timberwolves. I was a big Kevin Garnett fan, so I was like, it's cool to see another big who can do a lot and rebound in Minnesota. For me, it made the West more interesting because I never really watched the West basketball growing up. But they should have dropped him, not for nothing, a long time ago, because the biggest problem is, and IT is not right for like calling him out like this because this is supposed to be your teammate. IT ain't that great either. But Kevin Love, when not being focused on, goes like he'll naturally fall back into letting other people take the load and kind of just fading into the background. He does the Homer Simpson fade into the bush aspect of his personality when other guys are being focused on. So when Kyrie left, they were playing really well, and there was no IT. When Kyrie left and there was no IT, he's playing really well because you have LeBron's like he's looking right at you. You know, when LeBron James is looking right at you and you have to be the other guy, he can take charge. But if he doesn't, he's a very like, if I don't have to do it, don't pick me. He's that guy. Don't pick me in class. Don't pick me. Don't pick me. He has the answer. He just doesn't want to be picked.
Yeah,
you know?
He's like that one kid in class where it's like he has the answers. The teacher's trying to get people to talk, but he's just not a talkative guy. He doesn't want to be that loud, annoying guy in class. Like even though Kevin Love, maybe his personality is like that, where he's like maybe a little bit more annoying, or maybe he isn't. Like maybe he is more of a character. He has more personality, but he's just like one of those guys, man. He's not going to be loud about it. He's not going to be like, oh, LeBron, pay attention to me. No, he's like, hey, I'm just here to play my role. You know, I'm just here to be whatever helps the team win and stuff like that. That's who Kevin Love is. You know, that's just who he is. You know, like when he was in Minnesota, you heard he was much more louder because he was a star in Minnesota. It was like between him and Rubio, it was like, look, like Rubio, yes, is getting more commercial time and getting more focus from the media and stuff like that. But man, when it comes down to it, man, Kevin Love, he's the guy that like was putting up the numbers, man. So he's the star technically of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So yeah, he's gonna be loud and stuff. But man, you get to LeGM's world, LeGM is a star, and like he's a bigger star than you ever were, Kevin Love. You were just a blip. You were a good medium-sized fish in a small pond. Now you're a medium-sized fish going to a fucking ocean. And that ocean is run by the king of Atlantis. Not just any fucking big shark or fish. You're run by the king of Atlantis. Fucking LeBron. So when it comes down to it, man, Love is not going to really say much. And then, to me personally, man, the trade deadline is really going to tell you what this team's going to be. If you get George Hill, good for them. DeAndre Jordan, though, are they going to give up that Nets pick? You know, there's talks about the Nets pick. Everyone's saying, oh, give up the Nets pick. Just give it up. Do it, you know, get another piece, help LeBron. But then it's like, you know, the Cavs don't want to give that up because this draft right now, you know, there's a lot of hype with a lot of the college players that have been playing, like Marvin Bagley, Trey Turner from Oklahoma. You know, a lot of good players from this draft, man. Michael Porter is still a really good player. A lot of good players that the Cavs, if LeBron does leave, they can still build around. Yep. The problem is, you know, they don't have commitment from LeBron. They don't have it where LeBron is saying, hey, are you going to stay? Because we ain't going to go and freaking get – because, like, the thing is, they're going to be training for someone that has a player option where they can leave after this year as well. So, pretty much, they're just saying, screw our future. They're doing what the Brooklyn Nets did when they got Paul George and Kevin Garnett and Jason Jet Terry from Boston. They're pretty much saying, screw our future because we want to try to win now. And we don't even know if, like, this would help you stay even if we lost in the finals again. Because let's be real here. They don't know if this is going to help. And really, when you look at it, LeBron James is the one who said, hey, we got to keep Tristan. We got to keep JR. And the Cavs gave those ridiculous deals to these players. You know, superstar type deals. And yes, now when you look at Thompson's and JR's contract, they're considered quote unquote cheap. But still, that's a lot of money that you're playing for. And then not only that, LeBron, you know, he saw what Curry made. He's going to become the highest paid player in NBA history. You know? He's looking at that. He's like, yeah, I'm going to become the highest paid player in NBA history. So, when it comes down to it, man, LeBron, he holds all the chips. But at the end of the day, man, it's up to the Cavs to see what they do to build around him and also what the GM's going to do with his team. Ultimately, I think the Cavs are fine. I think they're going to go. This is just to keep us entertained because we got to have some drama in the NBA, man. There's no good season without good drama, right? Right, generic minority.
True facts.
And speaking of good drama, this is the most drama I've ever heard from the San Antonio Spurs in my lifetime. Like, oh my god. So the San Antonio Spurs, normally they're the quiet warriors of the NBA. You always forget about them, but yet they're really good. Oh yeah. When you talk about the top Western Conference teams, the Warriors, the Rockets come to mind. But then the Spurs, they always get forgotten about. It's like, let's not sleep on those Spurs. It's every year, don't sleep on these Spurs. But man, I've never heard much drama about the Spurs in my lifetime. This And it's sad. It's just like only 2 or 3 stories too. But this is like drama for the Spurs. So first off, we had the LaMarcus Aldridge situation. LaMarcus Aldridge had concerns about his role on the team. Pretty much asked Greg Popovich. Like this didn't come out in the beginning of the season. This came out in the middle of the season. You know that LaMarcus and Greg Popovich said it himself. That LaMarcus Aldridge came up to him and asked for a trade. He said, in all my life, I've never heard a player come up to me and ask me for that, a trade. And then Kawhi Leonard had this weird situation with the quad, where Leonard's, his quad wasn't feeling well and stuff, and then he finally got to play, and then now he's shut down for the rest of the season indefinitely. So Kawhi Leonard now also feels distant from the Spurs, and he doesn't want to be there. What? Well, time out. Humble Leonard? Kawhi?
Mr. $55,000 house Leonard?
Yeah. He doesn't want to be with the Spurs anymore. He doesn't. Yeah, they're being friendly and mutual when it comes to basketball. When it comes to other things, oh no. There's a darker story, and like we don't know what the story is. There's more juicy detail, and the sad thing is, like I understand this is the Lakers. I live in LA. They're drama central. Hell, the Clippers, even with their situation where Chris Paul's taking Trevor Ariza and James Harden and fucking Gerald Green through the back exit to go meet up with Austin Rivers for whatever fucking reason.
Just trying to get in good with Doc Rivers, yo.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Listen, you got to understand, all right? You need to get in good with Austin Rivers if you want to get in good with Doc Rivers on the off chance you got to deal with him because he's going to highlight his son more often than anyone else. So,
yeah,
hey.
That's true. But yeah, no. So the Spurs having some drama. What are your takes on this generic about Kawhi Leonard wanting to distance himself with the San Antonio Spurs? Like, how do you buy? Like, to me, since I rarely hear from the Spurs, I'm one of those people, if I rarely hear something like this is happening, I believe it's true. Because the Spurs are not like an organization where it's like, like the Patriots, like there's always like some crazy story of like, there's dissension and stuff. No, I don't believe that shit because, it's the fucking Patriots, man. Like, I don't believe this shit right now. Like, but when it comes to the Spurs, it's like, man, I barely hear this thing. So, like, if this is being reported out there, I feel like it's true. That's how I feel at least. But what do you feel about this? Like, dissension between Kawhi and everything like that?
You know what? We're making jokes about it, but humble Kawhi Leonard definitely does seem like they got to say something like, I'm feeling emotionally distant from the team because I'm on the bench. Very like, so like you said, you don't hear it. So you think it's true. You hear drama about the Cavs, you're like, yeah, there's always drama with the Cavs. Yeah, you hear drama, even when you hear about drama in Golden State, it's like, yeah, of course we're going to hear drama about that. But like, Spurs, man, for Popovich, most importantly, what you said about Popovich speaking about it, because that man does not say nothing.
Yeah.
He says what he says on the court. He says what he says when he gets interviewed and when he talks to media, and he moves on with the rest of his day. He's former military. He knows not only to speak when spoken to, right? For him to feel the need to say, I never had nothing like that happen in my entire life. I mean, you should be taking this serious. Like the Spurs, I mean, if Kawhi's saying he feels emotionally distant, if LaMarcus Aldridge is asking for a trade, goes up to Pop and asks for a trade, you have a problem. Because you're losing, not to say like in LaMarcus Aldridge, you're losing a good player. If Kawhi Leonard, who's supposed to be the core piece of what is going to be your future Spurs, is not feeling emotionally connected to the team, the whole big thing about the Spurs is that they're a very well-connected, well-paced, slow-paced, but well-paced, a unified team. They were like a family playing basketball, basically.
Yeah, if you ask people, like, who has a chance to be in the Warriors? The Rockets, maybe one day, yes, the Rockets could. The Timberwolves, the way that they're constructed, maybe in a couple years or maybe next year, they could beat the Warriors. I'm just being optimistic and also biased at the same time. But let's be real here. This is the best season I've seen in quite some time. So give me some leeway here. But if you ask some people, they would still say, hey, man, there's people that still say, I don't know, man. I don't think the Warriors would have won if Kawhi was still healthy, man. Because, like, a lot of people put that sting. Like, the Spurs play, like, such a great team basketball type of way that it's like they could beat the Warriors. They're a team that could definitely defeat the Golden State Warriors in a 7-game series. Like, that's a team that you can definitely bet on and stuff. Like, and don't say like, oh, well, the Spurs, like, don't forget when like the Thunder were like really hot. The Spurs beat them. Made sure the Thunder weren't like really good. And yes, they didn't have James Harden, But still, man, the Spurs, they deal with like a lot of super teams, man. They know how to deal with the super teams. They beat the Big Three Heat, who a lot of people argue, man. Like a lot of people do argue, man, that if the Big Three Heat were in their prime, that they could beat Golden State in their prime. Which, you know, a lot of people make that argument because Chalmers and Cole are better defenders than people give them credit for, and don't forget about Shane Battier and stuff like that, and then also Ray Allen. You know, a lot of people think the Big Three Heat era is better than Golden State and stuff like that. So like don't take that for granted. You know, they did beat the Spurs in a tough 7-game series, and that was a mighty damn good Spurs team as well. So when it comes down to it, man, the Spurs know how to handle super teams. If you want to look at a team that's anti-super team and knows how to beat them, it's the Spurs. Like they're that type of team.
Yeah, definitely. They're just super team kryptonite because of the way they play. It doesn't matter if you're a dude who's been on, not been a star. I mean, they always pull sleeper dudes too. Like before he left, he got off the team. Jonathan Simmons was like some sleeper dude. You're like, yo, who is this dude that they pulled in the second round who nobody ever heard of? The same thing with Kawhi. It's like, all right, well, Pop knows how to coach dudes. But the number one biggest things too is I think this is the indication that Pop is on his last few years.
Yeah, no.
And when I say last few, I mean last like 2.
Well, don't forget, Pop was going to retire when Timmy did, but he ended up staying because of LaMarcus. He said, I couldn't do that to LaMarcus because he made a deal with LaMarcus Aldridge that he would stay and coach the team. Like, he would still be a part of the team and still coach the team because that was the deal when he signed that contract. So that's why I think Pop was like, and you know what? Popovich is still a legendary coach. Doesn't matter what you say about this. I feel this is more of a management thing than a Pop thing. Like, I feel Pop, yes, is a part of management and stuff, but I feel like this is more of like a management type of thing where it's like, I feel like a lot of management has messed up this handling with Kawhi Leonard. And it'll be sad to see if Kawhi Leonard, I don't think he's leaving the Spurs, but like, like I said, when you rarely hear it from a team like the Spurs, you got to think it's like somewhat true. Because like, here's the thing why I say it like that. Because a lot of people go like, no, but if you hear all this, no, because when you hear drama, like, here's the thing. When you hear drama about a certain situation so much, you just say to yourself, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It's old news. Who cares? That story changes all the time. But when you hear when you hear like from this one couple, they always have drama. You already know, man. That's just how they operate, man. It's just some crazy shit all the time. But then like the couple that you feel like it's perfect, and they get into a fight, you're just like, whoa, what the? They fought? Oh hell, how? Oh my god, and you believe it's true because like you're just like wow, because you can't believe it. That's how it is with the Spurs, man. You can't believe this shit, man. Like they're such a good team, they're such a good organization. They don't ever mess up. So yeah, man, this Kawhi situation, man. I hopefully it's not because I like when teams have stars. I like when teams are balanced out a little bit, And I feel Kawhi Leonard's like such a good San Antonio Spur. Like I don't want to see Kawhi waste his years in Memphis or something like that. No, man. Like. He's gonna be a legend on the Spurs, man, and I just wanted him to stay a Spur. Like, it's like hard for me to imagine Kawhi in a different jersey,
Yeah, it definitely. It's like, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine. I could definitely see teams making a play for him now that he's, said something like this or what's going on.
Once he's cleared, like I think there's gonna be this offseason. Everyone said last offseason was crazy. Oh, this offseason I think is gonna be way crazier. I mean,
there's a lot of dudes up for grabs this year that I could definitely see rocking a different jersey simply because their management of their team, especially, and that's even weirder too with the Spurs too because they're being poorly managed in the West, which is the reason why dudes leave the East is because they're managed so well in the West. So that even more so. You have such a family-based like organization and with a this family, militant, fatherly figure coach, and they can't get it together. Like even if you say like the problem is like with Kawhi not feeling connected to the team, you really telling me that like Pop can't get the rest of these dudes to work together? It's weird. It's surreal. It's Twilight Zone-esque because they're the picture of consistency in the NBA as far as any other team is concerned. Every other team over the years has fallen off or gained new tread over the years. But the Spurs have always been exactly the same. And even with Timmy leaving, you were like, no, but they'll still be like a team that you're going to be pencil them in for the playoffs every single year. As long as Pop is around, or as long as they keep the same core values.
I mean, here's the thing, man. The Spurs have been consistently in the playoffs. They can legally drink because they're going to make the playoffs this year. They can legally drink. That's how
21 years.
21 years. They can legally drink.
Because last year was 20. I remember that was the talk.
Huh?
I remember that was the talk last year with the 20-year thing. I do remember that.
Yeah, if they were a child, they would be able to drink. That's crazy to think about. Like here's the thing. When, like 1997, we were both like young people, like young, super young at that time, man. Like I was only 4 years old at that time. No, 1993. 1993.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm a year older. I'm about a year older than you, so yeah.
Yeah, we were 4 or 5 years old. These motherfuckers are making the playoffs every fucking year, and we're 25, 26 years old. That's crazy, man. That just shows how consistent this organization is and stuff like that. So hopefully the rumors aren't true. All right, Generic. Any other burning things you want to talk about before we wrap up this edition of the NBA Talk?
I want to talk about this this draw, not to be that guy who does the prattle on about Golden State, because we were talking about this MVP stuff, about the MVP for the year, because even though everyone, and we both feel the same thing, that's going to be LeBron this year.
I have Durant. No, Durant's my number one.
You have Durant as MVP this year?
Yeah, Durant's MVP for sure.
No,
like LeBron, dude. The Cavs have been like, I'm sorry, third in the East. I can't give it to LeBron. It's Durant. And I know everyone's like, well, Westbrook triple-double. They were the 8th seed. And no, it's different.
Okay, first and foremost, hell no on Westbrook. Westbrook didn't deserve it. He got those triple-doubles, and that was fantastic. Great for him. No. James Harden should have got it last year.
I said if there was any year for a dual MVP, it should have been Harden and Westbrook. Because, but Harden definitely, I had Harden last year. But no, I think Durant's MVP. I think he's the front.
No, right now, playing team wise, if you're putting in both playing as a team and playing as an individual,
just in general,
MVP
man.
again.
No, just in general. Durant took over when Curry went out. Durant just solidified himself as that MVP.
He gave up the right to MVP when he joined that team. You can't join a team with another MVP.
No, that's like saying LeBron did it when he joined the Heat. No, I think
he did.
But LeBron still won a couple MVPs with the Heat.
He did, but think about when he joined the Heat. Okay, this is not the same, because this was the argument that everyone said when Kevin Durant left. It was like, LeBron left to join his big team, blah, blah, blah. You were coming off it. This is Dwayne Wade coming off an injury. This is Chris Bosh, who was just at that point really started playing well when joining them, because he became another scoring option. James Harden is playing because everyone was talking about CP3 and how great he is and what he's going to do for the Rockets. But James Harden's doing even better. He could just play point. He does not need. Kevin Durant has not yet, to me, proven that he can ball out and be MVP caliber without a good squad around him. James Harden has.
When Curry was hurt, I just feel like Durant, he just took a next level step. It goes, for me, Durant 1, Harden 2, LeBron 3. And then afterwards, it goes Kyrie 4, and then number 5, I guess, Giannis at this point. Giannis or Curry. A lot of people are saying Curry is MVP too.
Curry's not MVP. He's not MVP caliber. Anything. We also really never talked about people we take off the All-Star game, but even still, it's no, it's hard. I'm giving it to Harden, man. Everyone keeps talking about Kevin Durant's the best scorer in the league right now, and he's a fantastic scorer. I'm not taking nothing away from that man as a scorer. James Harden's a better scorer. He's the third best scorer in the league. Kevin Durant's third best scorer in the league. LeBron's always going to be number one because he has so many options to score. But James Harden is a better scorer, in my opinion, than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant just has scoring options. James Harden does not have options really like that. Yeah, he's got Eric Gordon who can hit. He got and Anderson who get 3, and when CP3 is cleared and not injured, his random little injuries or whatever. But James Harden is by and large, in my opinion, that's just me. Even if you're just looking at numbers, his numbers are better than everyone else's.
I'm not looking at numbers. I'm looking at what you do for the team. I feel like
James Harden's not on the Rockets. The Rockets don't go anywhere.
I think the Warriors would still be good, but I feel like they would not be as good as they. I don't think that. I think the Rockets would be an easy first seed if Kevin Durant wasn't on the Warriors. That's my hot take. I know a lot of people be like, no. I think this. If Kevin Durant was still in OKC, and if the Rockets had this team that they had assembled now, they'd be the 1 seed easy. And the Warriors, I don't even think the Warriors would be the 2 seed, to be honest with you. That's where I'm getting at.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so, man. I think they would have gone. I think they would have hit their fatigue. I think Kevin Durant brought life back to the Warriors, especially after they won the championship again. I feel Kevin Durant makes things easier for Draymond. I think Kevin Durant makes things easier for Stephen Curry. I think he makes it easier for Klay Thompson. And also, too, KD has been stepping up defensively this year as well. This is his best defensive year. Finally, he's using his 7-foot frame to his advantage. That's why I feel like Kevin Durant is the MVP because it's like
No, I don't. I feel like and I'm not trying to take anything away from you either. I feel like that you're saying like him using his frame, but it's like once again that's a very situational type thing. He has the option to go work on his defense because you got to worry about Steph Curry shooting from half court. You got to worry about Klay Thompson shooting a rhythm three in your face. You got to worry about the fact that Draymond Green might actually pull up and shoot a three on you. When he had to ball out, when he actually had to ball, he couldn't do it. Like, that's my opinion on the matter. He can't do it.
The finals. That's why he won finals.
He made it to the finals and he failed, and then he couldn't do it again until he joined up with guys that won already.
This last finals, man, Kevin Durant was phenomenal. I will not.
I'm not taking nothing away from him as a player, but there's something to be said, and this goes for every single sport. When you can win and you're not in the best situation to win, he is in the absolute best situation to win. If Tyrod Taylor went to the Patriots right now and Tom Brady left, yeah, Tom Brady's a fantastic player, but he does actually have a lot of help from the people around him and his coaching. You know, if you take those things away from Tom Brady's got nothing. Because when back in when they played the Miami Dolphins and they were and the Patriots getting smacked by them because they took the coaching away from Tom Brady, that was the signal in my brain to go, it's the coaching that really makes Tom Brady and the people around him wanting to play or playing how they get told to play. If you take Kevin Durant, you put Kevin Durant on any other team right now, he still can't beat LeBron. In a year or two, he could beat LeBron. Like if Kevin Durant joined the Heat.
No, I think he could beat LeBron.
If he had joined the Heat if the only way he could beat them is if he had joined the Heat with Goran Dragic playing the way he's playing right now. But that's just a hindsight is 2020 thing. He joins any other team other than the Spurs, the Sixers, the Celtics. If he had joined the Rockets, I personally would have joined. I would have teamed up with James Harden. James Harden, he's going to be
what about the T-Wolves? Because Jimmy Butler.
If he had joined the T-Wolves, yes, because they have
Jimmy Butler's a LeBron stopper, 7 straight wins against LeBron.
Yes, no, I 100%. Any other team besides a handful, and obviously in Golden State, he's not beating. Like if he goes out in the East, other than Boston and Boston and Philly, he's not beating LeBron in the East into the finals for another year or two. But I'm not even talking about like easy way out stuff. I'm just saying like when you really get down to like looking at him, yes, he's balling out, he's doing fantastic. But when you're talking about MVP voting, when you're talking about a guy who's carrying
Durant first, like if I had a first place,
if Durant doesn't play, Golden State is still balling. Steph Curry got injured. We're taking out injuries. I'm talking about like, yeah, he showcased that he takes over the team and he can lead the team if Steph Curry isn't there. But Steph Curry is still there. Like if James Harden, like I said, if James Harden is not on the Rockets, where are they going? Even if you say they got Chris Paul, but there's no James Harden. If James Harden is out for the rest of the season.
No, the Rockets would be bad. But I'm just saying, like for me personally,
if Kevin Durant's out for the rest of the season, Golden State's still fun.
But for me personally, Durant right now is showing that he's back to MVP form. Like James Harden's always going to be like the bridesmaid, but never the bride. Like he'll never get his, like unless like something that because like every time, man, James Harden, man, he always gets like the worst look for MVP, man, because like Durant's just playing like how he did his MVP year, man. Like he's playing at a great high level. He's playing on a great level of team back. Like James Harden's my second place, and he easily could become my first place. Like there's nothing there. It's like for me, LeBron is not first place. Like I can't give LeBron this. Like yes, LeBron.
I'm not giving it to him. I'm just saying he's probably gonna win it.
Oh well, yeah, he could probably win it, but like I don't think LeBron's I wouldn't have him win it.
I wouldn't give him first either. I'm giving it to James Harden. I can't give it to Kevin Durant because of where he's at right now. If you put him on a different team, if you put him on like if Kyrie never goes to Boston, but Kevin Durant does. Oh yeah, Kevin Durant. If he's playing like this and he's playing on Boston, not only am I saying Boston is beating the Celtics or Boston is beating Cavaliers, I'm saying that he's MVP. But I'm like, and once again, you're entitled to your opinion. But I'm just saying like I can't. The rhyme and reason of like if you like it's always my opinion of MVP is that if you take that guy away from their team, do they still make noise in their conference? Do they still make the playoffs? Do they possibly make the finals? Golden State could still do that and have proven that they can do that without Kevin Durant. Yes, they would be, obviously the Cavaliers were being built around beating them without Kevin Durant. But if you take James Harden away, Rockets are probably when you have Timberwolves over in the West, when you have Golden State, even San Antonio with all their nonsense, because are still going to make the playoffs. Like even with the drama over there, the Pelicans have a chance if they play well to do it. Like there's still teams that have a chance in the West. Like if you take him off the team, Golden State is still going in there. But if you take James Harden off the Rockets, you might take the Rockets off the list of even making it to the playoffs. If you take James Harden away, if James Harden's done for the season, they might not make they wouldn't make the playoffs. He's done right now.
What if we do alternate? If we're gonna go alternate, what if like James Harden's not there? So they have all this cap space. They're able to make big signings. Like they get like a Hassan Whiteside. They're able to trade some picks, get an Eric Bledsoe and everything like that. Like I don't know, the Rockets could construct a good team still. Like if they didn't have like James Harden's contract. For me personally, James Harden's definitely an MVP. He's my number 2. And he can easily become number 1, but the main reason why I was number 2 is because he did miss time recently, so that hurt. And the Rockets were still playing well without him. Like it wasn't like the Rockets sucked; like they were still winning games and stuff like that. So for me personally, James Harden is still a wonderful player. He's still number 2. It's just for me personally, Durant's just playing at another level right now, where it comes down to like, and that's how it is with the MVP. I mean, if we were awarding MVP just for how you started the season, Giannis Antetokounmpo would have won MVP already, but we don't. We awarded what you've done recently. And recently, right now, I'm seeing Kevin Durant play at a high level. And James Harden could easily steal that for him. Like, maybe when we do another basketball talk, like, let's say in April, I might be tooting a different horn. But as of right now, I have Kevin Durant as my most valuable player this year.
I don't know, man. That's a hard one for me to swallow. That is like I could give him second over LeBron right now, but I put my opinion, like when I say MVP, I don't mean like of the league. I mean of their team. What is their value, and is that value ranked higher if they're not on that team? I obviously we'll never know, right? That what would happen if Kevin Durant never joined Golden State, but I don't know, man. Like that's gonna have to. That's a wait and see type thing. But I'm still giving the nod to James Harden. I think he deserves it. I think he's balled out too well to not deserve it right now. His stat line, granted his rebounds aren't there, but his stat line is higher than Kevin Durant's right now. You say whatever you want, but Kevin Durant doesn't. If Kevin Durant had to score, if he had to do things like how he had to do at OKC, when I watch him in OKC, that's all I think of is if he had to do that again, would he really be able? Would he go back to being the person that he was? You know, if like it's the same thing with Kevin Love. It's like if he has to go back to being the third guy, does he go back to his old mentality of kind of sitting in the background and hoping he doesn't get picked?
I think Durant could go back to being the Slim Reaper, the nickname that he hates.
No, he said that name. He said that name was too malicious, but then he's out here calling people by their names. That's another thing too. Personality wise,
burner account KD is the real MVP though.
Who?
Burner account KD. His burner account. He has his burner.
I remember that, the Twitter account thing.
Yeah, he has his fake Twitter, his burner account, man, where he burns people.
Oh my God.
I'm surprised no one has made that a Twitter yet. Like a burner account. Maybe I haven't been on the Twitterverse, but man, like we have like these fake John Grudens, we have these Blake Bortles facts. How come we don't have a burner account?
There's a Kevin Durant. I guarantee there's a Kevin Durant on Twitter. I'm looking right now.
Okay, tell me if there's a burner account KD, because like I wanna. Like I love those like fake Twitters, man, because I'd read that shit, man. Like burner account KD.
Oh my God, yo, there's not a Kevin Durant. You want me to make that so we can just have a burner account to talk about?
No, it's just burner. Just make it just go burner account KD. Like not even Kevin Durant. It's just Kevin. It's just burner account KD. Maybe that could be the Twitter name at Kevin.
Oh, here it is. It's there's a bunch of people. KD's 7th burner account.
Oh, I love that. Great. I'm good. I'm gonna follow most of these. Just if you guys are ever watching this. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys.
There's a bunch of people changing name.
Thank you guys for watching this NBA video podcast. If you guys like this video, just let me know in the comment section. Let us know on Twitter at ChaseAlways68 at Generic Minority and stuff like that. Give the video a big old thumbs up. We'll definitely try to do more of these in the future. It's all just based on time frame. Who's your guys' MVP? Whose all-star team do you guys like more? Just let us know in the comment section. Generic, is there anything you want to plug?
No, if you want to, the link to my channel is kind of crazy, but my channel name is Generic Minority. If you want to sub to me, I'm going to be putting out some more content as I gain more free time on the weekends. I'm working on stuff now, mostly movie reviews. I'm going to be trying to do more basketball stuff, or at least more sports stuff. When the next NFL season starts up, I'm definitely going to get back into that. Because of where I live at, I kind of have to. So, just Generic Minority is my YouTube channel. Just type that into your browser. You should be able to find me if you want to sub. That'd be awesome. Thanks.
All right, guys. Thank you guys very much. Remember, guys, just like Brock Lesnar, sometimes you don't have to give a shit in life. Enjoy your day, guys. Have a good one. And remember, there's no account like a burner account. Have a good one.